I'm good. Did you miss me?
I did a lot. A lot.
I really don't want to get your channel deleted, Reed. That you're asking for serious trouble if I answer that question.
Well, then stop fucking talking about us, man.
How much perceived value do you think we will lose?
Well, I mean, we lose a lot.
The establishment Republicans are not Republican in name only. That's what the GOP is.
So many people want everyone else to come to libertarianism the same way they did.
Right. The slave mentality is praised.
All right. Thanks,
I want
Mike.
your phone to blow up with notifications every time the show is on. Thank you, Reed.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Naturalist Capitalist, streaming twice in the same day. On the show, we've got my ex-husband, Clint from Liberty Lockdown. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, you know, just have half of Liberty Twitter calling me a communist and a fascist simultaneously. It's been a fucking great 24 hours.
We've got...
You people are... Okay.
Oh, well, don't worry. We got fat Chris Pratt, Jeremy...
Fat Chris Pratt in the house.
How you doing, buddy?
So good, man. Doing so good.
And for the first time, we've got the amazing Eliza Blue on the program. How you doing?
Hi. This is already a mess.
That was guaranteed from the start.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, we were the homies or the Scallywags at Freedom Fest.
Eliza and the Scallywags.
Yeah,
Eliza got us
Scallywags.
into a lot of like high-end parties we didn't really deserve to be in. That was kind of the story of the week.
It's so stupid.
Okay, no. Well, back up everything. Let's start from the beginning. Can we start from the beginning?
Sure, go ahead.
So my best friend was supposed to come with me to Freedom Fest because I was speaking and they gave me an extra ticket for her. And she got very sick right beforehand. And I had no friends or anybody real. I had people that I kind of knew there, but like not really. And so I hit up Clint once I got there and I was like, because Clint and I had just done a podcast together. And I was like, hey, will you come hang out with me? Because I don't have anybody to hang out with. And then I got like him plus the rest of the Scallywags.
Yeah, you got the stuff left.
That was your episode that launched you to Twitter controversy, Clint. That was where it all began. Like that was where you first started making friends.
That's right. I really fucking didn't intend to be a lightning rod firebrand in this arena. Just to be honest.
Hey, what up, girl?
What's up? But yeah, that is apparently my path, and I don't know how to basically like shut up to stop having this happen repeatedly. But
people got too much extra time on your hands. Let me tell you right now, I do not see, not you, you know, I love everybody here and I love everybody in general, but like, how is everybody always fighting? I don't get it because I'll be so in my own world with the stuff that I pay attention to. I don't like the drama doesn't touch me. Does that make sense? So it's like, I'll hear little like whispers about it, but I never know what's going on.
What's so funny is do you remember the first words you said to me?
Me?
Oh my God, you look just like fat Chris
The
Pratt.
first words you said to me were, what's the deal with the loser brigade?
Oh, well, yeah. I don't know because I don't pay attention because I don't like, I think maybe just because I'm in my own world probably is what it is.
Yeah, you just give me your phone when people start messaging shit about me. Just like, hey, Reed, this guy's just saying stuff about you.
You know, in some ways, I think that this is actually good because we've all kind of moved past the loser brigade, and now we are hashing it out amongst each other, and that to me is more meaningful and important. Like, I would much rather hear, you know, myself and Ace and Drew talk about how to address vaccine mandates than like whether or not Archie wears a bra. You know, like it's a much more fruitful argument.
Well,
oh,
I mean,
it's so not nice. Like I just don't get. Maybe I think that actually, I think what it is with Liberty Twitter, I think that you folks actually kind of do it a little bit out of love, in a way. Am I wrong? I don't know.
It's like you don't fight with people if you don't give a shit what their opinion is.
No, I wish to God any of you people would come at me. Please, I dare you. Please, I dare any of you.
you can take some of mine. I've got more than I can handle right now.
I don't step in it, so I'm not in it. That's why I stay out of it.
Well, Jeremy, you're like not really in it, right?
So yeah, I'm not really in it. One, because I'm not smart. I intentionally don't read theory so that I don't go down these rabbit holes. Like I'm like, yeah, well, you both make good points. I'm gonna go do some other shit now. I don't embrace that whole kind of intellectual debate. I love Clint. I don't know. Like I put more of an emphasis on people and relationships than I do with being right, especially in hypotheticals. So I don't know. Like maybe that's just me.
Oh, you sound like a real human being.
Jesus,
you're a total freak.
He also has a baby in like a real life. Like, so what's the debate? What's the big debate about now?
The big debate is, I believe that we should not be, at the very minimum, we should not be running cover for private businesses as they implement vaccine passports.
Yeah,
that's the minimum requirement for a libertarian in this moment, in my opinion. So I am trying to get people to basically stop saying that they're a private business.
Are you okay with just saying, hey, it's a really bad idea, and if they do it, the market will solve that?
Well, that's an okay thing for them to say, but if it's state mandated, I don't know how you have a market solution.
That's the real problem with all of this, is that we're having this argument in a hypothetical world where we haven't been force-fed propaganda for 18 months. So every decision, even a private industry or business is making it based on fallacy. It's making it based on propaganda and lies. So yeah, but that's kind of always going to be there, right? And so, I
don't know.
Again, I'm not smart. I don't know.
Reed, you got an answer
run
for
cover
me?
for them though. We should
call that shit out. Opinion?
Yeah, I would love to know.
I mean, we already did
because you put out a bunch of shit posts this morning, so I have no clue what you actually think.
Well, I was just stirring the pot as usual.
I know.
But, I mean, we did a whole video on it, you and I. Like, I think there's a difference that people are not drawing a distinction between the government mandating that private businesses have vaccine passports and then someone deciding to do it themselves. So I don't support the government outlawing a business from deciding to do it. But if a business does decide to do it, I'm not going to give them any of my service, and I'm going to try to run them into the ground, and shit all over them. That's always been my position. Like I don't understand people who haven't said anything before, and now they're just coming out and getting outraged that some governor wants to outlaw vaccine passports, that's a violation of property rights. And they haven't been, screaming about the other violations that have been going on for months. I don't think anyone in our circles is doing that, or anyone that we respect is doing that, like Ace and
I wouldn't label them with that for sure.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, so I don't think the government should be mandating vaccines. I don't think it should be outlawing vaccine passports. And I will not give any business to any private entity that decides to require vaccine passports.
Yeah. I mean, we can also, like, the question is, this Vaxport, is it a market solution to a perceived problem? And if so, there are times where we have to not use government force, but we ourselves have to interfere in the market. If the vaccine passport becomes real, the phone app and it spreads and all that, that's a very dark road that we can't go. I don't give a shit about free enterprise and like their right to create an app. I need that to fail, because that is an intrusion on that's like with Apple. Okay. We stopped, or I say we, Eliza can speak more to this, but we stopped Apple from infringing on those privacy barriers in some ways, and some pushback on the market. I see the vaccine passport as the same way. We have to provide pushback and potential government blockades from allowing businesses to require to know our health background before allowing us to patron that. They don't have the ability to do it right now. Okay. So they have no ability to know our private medical decisions. So are we allowing a market solution to enable them to do that? And are we not going to sit here and go, maybe that's a really bad idea and a bad road to go down?
Eliza, tie it all together with the Apple fight that you've been talking about.
Well, unfortunately, Apple isn't done. That was just a pause. It was a temporary pause that was put on based on public outcry because they had a new product coming out. Don't I look like an angel tonight?
It's so beautiful.
Always look like an angel, Eliza.
Thanks, Reed. You too. So anyway, yeah, Apple put a temporary hold on their child for your channel. How careful do we have to be on your channel? A lot of channels
we're not careful here, so go whatever.
Okay. The child sexual abuse material scanning technology that they were getting ready to launch, they put a temporary hold on it just because of public outcry, predominantly privacy folks in the privacy. Actually, it was a really cool moment because it was a moment where I saw folks that probably normally wouldn't get along. They really did come together to get along. And it was pretty cool. I kind of got to move in different circles and sort of, I guess, like internet meet folks that I wouldn't normally get along with because I was sort of an odd duck in their sphere of privacy. But I take it very seriously. But that sort of public outcry and the protests at the Apple launches were a really big deal. And Apple heard them loud and clear. And they put a temporary pause. And I hope that they permanently rethink their decisions of what they're going to do. Some of their ideas were really good, but they are really terrifying a lot of people with where they're going with this scanning. And you guys all like everybody that's here that knows, I'm very conscientious to make sure that even though I'm very hyper focused on making sure that survivors have a voice and have their place and that survivor stories are heard, that we don't encroach on privacy rights. So that's something whether from the government or tech, before, like when I was talking to you guys, I was like, I think the government's going to step in. I think the government's stepping in using child sexual abuse material and human trafficking in the digital space as a way to gain more access and control and power over their citizens. But I was never expecting it was going to be from Apple. So when it hit me from the Apple angle, I was like, oh no, not on my watch. So I was I haven't really heard too many other survivors like really speak out against the Apple thing, but it's okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think libertarians have this false idea that you can't protest what a private business is doing.
Right.
Like they've decided that in order to protest it, we have to pretend it's the government doing it. Where I've never had that feeling. Like I've always thought if a private business is doing something bad, you should protest it. You should blockade it. I think like sit-ins and I saw you arguing with Ace a little bit about that. I would agree with you, Clint. Like even though you're technically violating property rights, I think sit-ins are peaceful ways to oppose what's happening.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
I thought I was losing my mind. Ace and these people are so adamant that you don't do sit-ins because it's a violation of property rights, and it's that's a really stunning thing to me. Like, are we to respect people no matter how absurd their business practices are? I genuinely believe that if I was in the 1960s and black people weren't allowed to eat at a restaurant, I would have gladly sat in with them to try and help resolve that. And would I have been violating property rights? Sure, I would have been. But like, what's the greater moral evil to allow, just horrible segregation to continue to persist in your town or to try and alleviate it? I don't know.
So I view human trafficking, of course, as modern day slavery, of course. And I take this a lot with, of course, Twitter and other American owned businesses. I'm like, okay, am I just going to allow them to knowingly profit off of human rights violations? Like, no. And off of slavery, because that's what it is. I mean, especially this last week, what was exposed to be going on Facebook through the Wall Street Journal was absolutely, I mean, it's like legit for real slavery, not like kind of dicey, like this is like for real slavery that's really going on Facebook. So, I guess I sort of always thought that if I try to hold these private companies accountable, like Facebook and Twitter and whomever else, then the government wouldn't have an opportunity to overreach. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong because I'm a little bit newer to everything than you guys are. I just kind of do my own thing and then,
Well, take it to its logical conclusion. Raytheon,
Why would they
Boeing,
violation of children?
Northrop Grumman, those are private companies. And are we violating their property rights to go protest outside of a Raytheon missile production, site? Yeah, probably, but fuck their property rights. Here's
the thing,
murderers.
like with a sit-in, I mean, I am surrendering myself to arrest. Like if the store owner arrests me, I think that's his right because I am breaking his property. I'm intruding on his private property. So, yeah, if he calls the cops and gets me arrested, I think that's.
Would you call the cops if I just came and sat in wherever you are?
I wouldn't. It's not my property anyway, though. So
we're doing a sit-in at the Flying J.
You just let me sit in your truck for like a week.
He'd call the heart police.
Come on over.
Come on, Reed. Sit in.
Are you guys gonna get married right in front of me? This is brutal.
No, we are.
Yeah, we're such
babies
a
would be
polygamous
pretty.
community. We're always marrying, tons of different people and getting broken up all the time. It's kind of hard.
People are. I stay straight.
Tons of different
I
people.
am not swayed one single bit. Okay, you people on each other.
This is why Pete gets mad because we're acting like libertines.
Oh, God bless us. Oh man,
bunch of polyamorous motherfuckers out here.
Oh, you guys are. I
Man.
stay strict on Reed. I've never swayed.
Me too.
Yeah, no, that's not true.
You have been the only man that I had eyes for.
That is true. Yeah, I mean that goes for you too, I guess. So.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
I'll never forget when I met Reed.
Oh, you guys are totally getting shipped in the comments right now. It's adorable.
I'll never forget when I met Reed because I saw because I was on the phone with my best friend. Like when you guys walked up at Freedom Fest and I had my AirPods in and I was actually on the phone with my best friend. And I was like, yeah, I just saw Clint. I was like, super awesome. I'm so glad I saw him because I was like desperate to see somebody that I knew. I'm a people person, so I was desperate.
I love that you have to preface it with "I was desperate, so I was happy to see Clint."
No, every time she's talking about us, she's like, "I had no other friends, like no one I knew. Like it was the bottom of the barrel." I had no other options.
Okay, yeah, I say that, but who knew everybody and all the cool spots to go?
Oh yeah,
and all the connections.
We're glad. We are glad you were out of options and had to hang out with us because it ended up.
I think I would have ended up hanging out with you guys anyway. But anyway, so. And I told my best friend, I was like, yeah, I met this guy. His name's Reed. And she's like, oh, I love Reed. And I was just envisioning, like, when I met Reed, he was like this. I was like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. And Reed was like this. Like, not even looking at me. Like, just like, I was like, oh, hey, nice to meet you. Like, all bubbly and corny. And Reed's like,
I don't remember this, but
I do.
That might make it worse that I don't remember that, but
exactly. Who forgets meeting the bald chick in all black at Freedom Fest? Like I was the only non-boomer in the line. Like, gosh.
Should I leave and just let you guys have your first date?
What's that?
Reed does not want to date with me. I've been asking her out for like 2 months. I actually asked him because I didn't want to make him uncomfortable. I was like, Reed, I'm not going to make you uncomfortable, but just know. I don't think I'm smart enough for Reed, and I'm fine with that. I'm smart about like a couple things. No, but honestly, you know what I was sad about, Jeremy, that you asked me for my speech?
Oh, what speech? About
at Freedom Fest, bro?
I had the earpiece in. I was listening the whole time.
At Freedom Fest, Dougie.
Oh, yeah. I would listen.
I don't want to talk about
that too.
Twitter beefs. Y'all gonna be over this trash in like a day. So
no, you're totally right. I'm not. For the record, we're not talking about beef. We're talking about the actual topic. The topic is important.
I can't follow these topics. Let's talk about something fun.
Okay, let's do that. Let's get some Scallywag in here.
So, Tulsi Gabbard ignored the murder of children today.
That's the thing about liberty. Like everybody that's into like liberty and everything is so intelligent, and I'm like, oh,
God
this tree smells like fall.
Right there.
I know you guys are smart, and you always have these smart podcasts. If you want to talk about human trafficking, I can get down on some smart stuff. But other than that, I'm pretty much. Not a lot going on.
We gotta ask you the questions.
All right,
I thought your
let's
speech
pee poo
was-
poo this.
Your speech, how you tied it in to the predators being the same as the government. I thought that was really good.
Thanks, Reed.
You guys should make out.
You want to elaborate on that a little, or
Yeah, on the making out or on
either one, whichever one you choose.
where you at?
Is Tulsi?
Text me your address. I'm on my way. Midnight flight. No, actually, it was really very. That was a really. That was just
Loud
so.
ding.
It was so intense because that was what?
That was a really loud ding.
Oh yeah, a guy was texting me.
Oh,
It
you're
never-
cheating on Reed?
It
Unbelievable.
never
Yeah,
happened.
she's like,
so
Reed wouldn't. She's not interested. Oh, there's a guy texting me right now.
No,
Yeah.
he's actually you guys would love him, but no, no, it's not like that. Trust me.
It's probably.
Oh, it's
gonna
be like that, though.
I only have eyes for Reed.
That's fucking right, you do.
I made it very clear. Can we stop talking about it? Because he definitely denied my love, which is very
Y'all
hurt
should
my
get
heart.
pregnant.
it hurt my heart.
I enjoy this way too much. Reed, are you still having Tulsi on your show?
I'm supposed to. Yeah.
You should just keep attacking her on Twitter until she comes on.
There's nothing new about
That
this.
always
Like,
makes me want to do stuff.
I was like, I think this what might be why she had some respect for me, but everyone who was on her campaign kind of worshipped her and wouldn't like tell her when they thought she was wrong ever. They just like followed her around like a
Mommy
dog.
milkers, Maui mommy milkers.
And I was one of the only ones who like told her that I thought she was wrong to her face a bunch and sent her like some scathing emails too. So
I wish you'd send those to me, Reed.
Masochist emails to Eliza.
I
Everyone.
love it.
But I don't know. It's nothing new. She's used to it. So I think she'll still come on. I haven't said anything like too terrible yet, but
Good.
Hey, somebody in the comments, please go clip Clint saying Maui mom milkers and turn that shit into a GIF.
Cut
I'll
my
Maui
masturbate
mommy
to it.
milkers.
please cut my face out of it. In fact, we're gonna hide my true identity anyway, so we good.
so we kind of cut you off there, Eliza. You were going to pontificate on the idea of the government being an abuser.
Yeah, it just kind of hit me, when domestic violence and human trafficking the way that I do, just because of my past. Because for anybody that's watching that doesn't know anything about me, I'm not just a clown with these fools. I'm a survivor advocate for those affected by human trafficking, and I'm also a survivor of human trafficking. And so, sort of along our way in the journey of 2020, I started to recognize some very abusive behavior as a result of just the United States government. And when we look around the world, we notice that other governments around the world, especially Australia, is wild right now. And when you look at, so back in the 80s, they came up with this thing in Minnesota. Back in the 80s, there was this original battered women's movement, and they came up with this thing called the power and control wheel. And when you look at the original power and control wheel, and now we adapt that when we serve survivors, or even for myself, when we're looking at abusive relationships, you look at the power and control wheel. It hasn't changed much since the 80s. And the government, unfortunately, was just giving me a lot of abusive signals and signs. And so I really started to see the government as an abuser, which helped me form some of my political views. So that's good. But, so I just sort of related that a lot to my Freedom Fest speech. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I thought it was brilliant. Almost made me cry.
A lot of Chads were crying in that speech. It was really beautiful. It was really powerful for me. It was really, really powerful. And actually, it meant a lot to me that you guys were there. Like a lot. I know we clown around and stuff, but it really did.
Two of us were there. One of us didn't make it, but
Jeremy, yeah. no big deal. Just a survivor.
No big deal.
Just a survivor.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
You made up for it by jumping on the dumpster. That I think that
Yeah.
she got
Yeah.
Can we
Ass
talk about
crack
all the-
galore. All right, so you gotta let me know the degree of ass crack
Okay, hold
that
on,
you
stop
got.
because I think I was the most sober. Was that Dr. Drew night?
That was
think
Dr.
so.
Drew night. Yeah.
Okay, back up everything.
Yeah,
should
here's what was bullshit. I'm talking to this guy on the roof about how his daughter had just had an abortion, and you guys basically dragged me away, and then you're like, we have to leave. There's not enough time, and then we do a photo shoot in the alley. Anyways, I'd just like to point that out.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, whenever people are hanging out with me, they tend to be a little bit more photo shoot or like those type of antics usually ensue. And me and the other Scallywags had taken a picture, I think a photo shoot the couple nights before or the night before or something. We looked so fire in the alleyway because I had on that cheetah print floor length dress, remember? Yes, how could anyone forget? Anyway.
I remember.
So the whole world remembers. Anyway, so we tried to do another photo shoot, the Scallywag photo shoot. And Jeremy says, okay, we'll stop everything. Should we explain how we were hanging out with Dr. Drew?
We'll circle back.
Oh my God, how do I end up friends with these people? Anyway, so Jeremy says, I want to get on the dumpster. Jeremy is so beyond 3 sheets. Look at Clint right now is staring at Twitter, just seething. I could see it in his face. Twitter. Look how, I mean, my eyes are like so illustrious tonight, and you're over here looking at some.
Girl, you already left me for Reed. Shut the fuck up.
Nobody went to bat for it, so I just.
Okay.
Nobody went to bat for it. So anyway, Jeremy decides he's going to get up on this dumpster, and the mount he made. I was the most sober, so I remember the most. The mount he made on this dumpster, literally his whole butt was hanging out, and he did this like flip. I'm not going to do it right now because I don't want to embarrass myself, but it was like flip down and then a flip up with the legs up like this.
I remember none of this. I just want to say, to whoever designs the lid on those dumpsters, thank you. I'm very grateful. My fat ass could have fell through on a cheaper dumpster, and you saved a life that night.
Yeah,
because they wouldn't have. These fuckers would have let me die there. They left.
I'm so glad Dr. Drew didn't see that.
The last time I saw a man in that position was when Reed and I went to bed that night.
Yeah,
with his legs up like this. It was great.
I'm so over you people. Reed was like falling asleep. Like Dr. Drew was not entertaining at all to him. Reed was like,
well, it was like the 4th night we were up till 4 in the morning.
This is just mine.
Yeah.
Reed isn't a party animal like you and I.
Well, I don't know. My schedule's on the
All
other
right.
half of the clock, so.
Yeah, so circle back to Dr. Drew now that we've talked about my ass being out.
Okay, well, let's just talk about how we first got it started. I showed up to the original opening night with a White Claw in my purse.
Correct.
Remember? And we were sitting on the bleachers, and I was already kind of a little bit lit when I showed up because I was just rolling solo dolo, just didn't even care. But then I came to hang out with you guys on the bleachers, and they had found this random spot on the bleachers that was like, how do you explain it? It was like separate from everybody else.
Yeah.
I know this is like the most serious podcast.
Okay, so imagine. All right, so do you want me to paint this picture? Because I can paint this fucking picture. Okay.
Don't let me
So imagine you're at imagine it's 1993, and you're at a house. And you're at a house show for
Jeremy. I can't. That's the year before I was born. So
okay, 1994.
Look at me. I'm trying to do math. Watch
that.
my eyes. I'm like do math in my head to figure out how old Reed is because I never asked. I'm like,
all right, it's 1994. You're at a house show for WWE. Yeah, not 93. No, you were born in 94. All right, we got to go to 95. All right.
Well, it could be after May 94, and it's good.
When's your birthday in May?
Yep.
When?
I'm just gonna. I got to keep my identity somewhat.
Okay, well, you
What's your social security number, Reed?
Well, my bank.
Oh my God, mine too.
May 21st.
Yours is May 21st.
Yep.
I'm older than you then.
In what clock?
Never mind. Anyway, Jeremy, continue. It's 1994.
All right. Well, are we up to 95, 96 here? All right, it's late 90s, and you're at a WWF house show to see Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, like on a non-televised thing in the middle of South Dakota. All right, you're in like a, how do I say? You're in like a junior college gymnasium. Is that a good way, right? So the stage is where the ring would be, and then there's like floor seats. And then there's like they've collapsed the lower level of the arena. And so, but they've left the upper deck of wooden bleachers in this arena in the middle of South Dakota in what is the equivalent of a junior college basketball arena. And we are solo up in that upper deck.
No, I thought it was bigger than that. It was a nice place. I thought it was nice. Okay, well, I was the only one that thought it was nice, but I thought it was nice. And I came up and I met these plebs, and I was already kind of a little bit lit because I was chilling by myself. And I pulled a White Claw out of my purse and I just cracked it open, and nobody was drinking or nobody was acting a fool. And I think from that point on, everybody involved knew exactly what was up.
Yeah.
Then I taught you guys how to steal 4 flutes at a time.
Yep, we had an agenda from that point forward.
Yeah, it was
Just to hang
see if
out.
we could get too drunk to drive. Honestly, I have not partied that hard in like 8 years because we just kept going.
Then we all better link up again because
Wait,
I don't know if I could
how many
survive it.
events did we get into that we weren't supposed? We got into Dave's
All of them.
stand-up thing. We got into the.
Right, some of us paid for those tickets.
Yeah, well, you know, but
Oops.
got into 2 rooftop dinner parties with Dr.
Dave
Drew,
Rubin.
Ion Hercioli, Dave Rubin, Michael Shermer, and then we got into a banquet.
yeah, remember it?
A banquet we weren't supposed to make it into, and then we got I don't know what else. We got into a lot of things that we weren't supposed to be allowed.
Can we talk about the dichotomy of Ion and what that day meant?
Dog.
Also,
Were you there? Was it just me and Reed? I don't remember if you guys were
I'll
there.
never forget
right.
how I said to Reed, I was like, I just have this way. As we were leaving, because Reed really wanted to. Wait, remember when we snuck backstage because we were trying to meet?
Yeah, we tried to do that too. Yeah.
And as we were leaving, like Reed was kind of bummed, and I was trying to impress him, like be a little bit cool and nice. And I was like, yeah, you know, my life just has a way, so I feel like our paths will cross, and I'll definitely keep you in mind. And then, like a couple hours later, we were just there with her.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh my God, Reed. Remember, I was going to the bathroom and I came back running up all fast. I was like, oh my God, Reed.
Yeah, she was there, and
She was, but we're leaving out a very important part of the story, and that is Reed and I vocally heckling her from the audience literally 6 hours earlier. She's so to paint the picture.
Audience, because you plebs were in the audience and she was on stage with the lights.
Yeah,
but she
Yeah,
said
look.
Tulsi Gabbard, like talking about radical Islam, basically. That's what we were heckling.
Yeah, and Scott Horton's up there, you know, dropping his lines about swimming pools full of blood of their children and just killing it. And Reed and I eventually get so frustrated with the Ion, we're like, boo! Oh, you suck from the crowd. And 6 hours later, he's like, hi, Ion. I really love what you do. Can we take a picture?
That's not quite accurate. We were
Not
disagreeing with what she said during the debate.
You did. You said it to her face. You were like, hey, we love Scott. Disagree with some things, but hey, I still love what you blah blah stand for. I don't remember a lot.
You were pretty drunk, so I think every night.
I took the picture.
Well,
Did it turn out?
There, that was good. You're right. And the only reason why we were there was because I got invited to go up. Was that night? I forget. It's all kind of a blur.
Dr. Drew night.
No, that wasn't the Dr. Drew night. That was the Ruben and Yaron Brook night.
Yeah, it was the night before. Or 2. Or
The Ali night, because remember,
Could have fooled me.
you boys don't get out much. I don't either, but I think I can handle it a little bit better.
you literally turned Freedom Fest into like one of the most fun weeks of my life. So eternal gratitude.
Thanks. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, I can't wait until next year.
My
I
week
mean, you and Reed's loving embrace, but
my week got
We
better.
didn't
It
give me
started
no
out
love and
almost dying, and then
if you want Reed, you got to go through me. That's how it works around these parts.
I've been like, I backed off on Reed. I was like, oh
I
my
am
God,
the gatekeeper to the great Reed
she
Packerdale.
just found out she's 13 years older than me, so that like kind of put a damper.
I ain't scared. I ain't scared.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I ain't scared. I ain't
By the way,
scared.
this is very relevant to Clint's
Scared.
episode that he did with her. So make sure you go watch that because it ties a lot of this in. So
Wow.
100%.
Listen. I think there's levels to it, right? Okay, hold on. How much is Let me do math.
Do not try and defend this. He's an adult man. It's okay.
Okay, listen. Yeah, he's an adult man. Okay, so I'm 40 and a half, actually. But I know I look younger than that.
His mental capacity is in doubt, though. So this
How
could
much younger-
be
how much
predatory.
13 years or 14 years?
13. Are you
We
doing
good.
the creeper rule?
We good.
Half your age
No.
plus 7. That's what it is, right? So
You're literally at the bar.
I'm at the bar.
Yeah.
Okay, so the bar would
Actually,
be
Jeremy, I was born in 1995. No, I'm just kidding.
You're at the bar and she's dropping GHB in that drink.
That's it.
No. I ain't got time for No, come on. I ain't that desperate out here.
So
Y'all
Clint, you're
I ain't that desperate out here.
right?
Look, I got my sips.
yeah.
Don't play with
Yeah,
me.
okay. So we're not quite as bad. It's
Yeah,
still bad,
exactly.
Holy shit!
And I just turned
am I the
39.
young-
When I was making you my man child, it was totally legit. I was 38 at the time.
This is the first
Why
time
you
in a
guys
very
being
long
so-
time I've been one of the youngins. That's awesome.
You're the youngest one, Jeremy?
No, I'm 34, but I'm in the younger half, and so I'm gonna take that as a win, right?
Yeah, but what about BMI?
Yeah.
Got me what?
When it comes to BMI, I am carrying you motherfuckers. Like
What?
I'm
Body
bucking up the
mass
curve
index.
on that one.
It's a joke. It's a joke. Don't worry about it.
Hey, look, I always like to say that Dwayne the Rock Johnson and I have the same BMI. So we're basically, I mean,
That's why you get the big bucks in the movies like him.
exactly.
What chart are you looking at? Where are you getting this information? The internet?
Yeah, the internet.
Goodbye.
He and I are about. He's a little taller than me, but we weigh close to the same, I believe.
So we were on the roof hanging out. Hanging out with Ruben, and everybody was cool and having fun. Remember how pretty that night was? Like the weather was perfect, and
No,
we were all
I
hanging
don't
out.
remember.
I hate you people.
I remember. Jeremy was just blacked out drunk. It's not his fault.
We
Like
remember
the whole time. Jeremy was blackout drunk the whole time.
Every time I saw Jeremy, I had to like carry him to the seat. It was-
By the way,
That's-
Jeremy was the biggest.
I know, I'm
one
kidding
we
you.
had trying to
Not
get him
during
I
out.
the
was gonna
day.
say.
Jeremy was sober during the day.
I know. I'm fucking with you, but you did get very, very lit a couple nights.
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
But we were all like, well, he's got a new baby. He doesn't get a chance to do anything.
I just remembered
Correct.
I had been drinking too, and I got because I was taking Jeremy's ass home because he couldn't get a lift, and I got followed by
Yeah.
a cop for over 2
Yeah,
miles.
you sure did.
Holy shit, that was intense.
By the way, they were busting all the weed smoking libertarians who had flown in for Freedom Fest that night. Remember that? All the cops were finding everyone who had marijuana and bust. Oh man, that was nuts.
Horrible.
Shout out to Christy Nome.
Yeah, Clint, you didn't get to ask her about her arm workout for your mom.
I know. My mom was very disappointed. Maybe one of these days, when she's
Well, you didn't
president-
tell me that you wanted to meet her, but if you would have told me, I probably would have worked it out.
That's true. I honestly, it was kind of a superficial, ridiculous question. How are your arms in such good shape? Like, what am I?
I don't think
fucking-
so at all. She would have been very, I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but as a woman, I would have been very flattered that you asked that question.
I know. I feel like I have credibility as a reporter, and I can't be asking softball questions. What am I fucking asking? Joe Biden what flavor ice cream he's lapping down.
Yeah,
Like
Clint got the media row pass, and it really worked out well for him the entire.
Yeah,
You interview me.
all I did was interview people the entire time. Oops.
Yep.
I
remember
anyone.
when we shoved 4 people into the back of your car for all your media equipment.
Oh,
which
wasn't
you
that
used while
true?
we-
And we had Scott Horton in the car, and remember how every time we took a picture, I was sitting on Reed's lap, and he had this weird grin on his face, like this.
Mhm.
Yeah, what were you
100%.
doing? What were you doing to him?
I was just sitting there.
Sure.
I have a lot of women, so me just sitting somewhere is a lot. I
Facts.
need everything.
Yeah, this is
Why
that.
did I treat it as Scallywags?
I got a picture of me holding that woman.
That
I
is
do.
a thing that happened. It wasn't.
Okay,
distasteful.
don't even pretend we were drunk. That one, there was the sun was in the sky. At that
Yeah, no, we weren't drunk there. Eliza's just cool as fuck, and Jose had sent that ridiculous picture, and we had to duplicate it.
Where the fuck is Jose, by the way?
Probably in Mexico.
Yeah. God damn it, Jose.
Wait, what? Do you need him?
What, you need Jose for something?
I mean, do you need him?
Well, no, he's supposed to be in the comments all night.
Oh
So-
yeah, that's true. It's late where he is. He lives in Florida, so.
Wait, where I am.
So Clint, you're going live here in a couple minutes, right?
Sure am. Gonna debate Drew Hancock and Ace Archist
Why
simultaneously.
are you guys debating?
Mm.
Because it's a really important. It's like I think it's the question of our time for libertarianism. is
Okay, ask it
how do
again.
we
I
address?
don't know if I understood it the first time.
Okay.
Well, Clint,
How-
it comes after whether or not we think racism is irrational and repugnant.
Well,
Second,
right.
Yes.
yeah.
It's
Once
very
we've
important.
all signed on to a document saying that we find racism irrational and repugnant, then we might have to fight fascism. So, yeah, that's the debate. Though it's like, what is the libertarian solution to this? Because as long as we are running cover saying that it's a private business, it can do whatever it wants, regardless of the fact that it's being compelled by the state to do exactly that. How do we decipher what is and is it not a state action in this manner? So it's going to be interesting.
Here you go, Eliza. It wants you to do a show with Ryan Dawson about.
Yo,
Yeah.
Eliza, real talk. If you're, if you want to like have serious heat, because I know you already got that one dude that was giving you a hard time about your relationship with Reed. That would escalate it, just so you know. And I love Ryan, so I'm not talking shit. I'm just saying
That would be an interesting episode, though. I mean, I know.
I stood up for Reed. I love Reed, and people don't know. Like, I know we joke around a lot and stuff, but there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes where this whole crew supports each other, and I never forget stuff like that. So when people come at me sideways, if I don't know them, I remember the people that I do know that I have met in real life and that have had my back at times when I need them to. And there's a lot of people in the liberty space that have had my back. So
shit. I've held it.
what?
Yeah.
You are disgusting.
I love you. I was just fucking making a joke.
I hate everything.
I love you. I
It
was
a
making a
sweet
joke.
moment. I'm really
Eliza,
grateful.
you know I have your back. So please.
No, I know you guys do. That's what's funny. So, but yeah, I mean, as far as Ryan Dawson goes, I don't know enough about him I really don't. There's no like, so the way I choose my podcast is like, it has to be something that kind of like moves me, because when I talk about human trafficking, it like actually kind of tires me out. People don't know that, but it kind of drains me really hard. So I'm really conscientious, but now that I have a lot more free time, I'll probably be able to do more podcasts, but I don't know, be more fun to start my own.
And Cap 24, why do you want me shirtless?
Hey, yo.
Sorry. Just reading the chat there. I'm just curious. And by the way,
Take your shirt off.
I did a whole show shirtless. I ain't doing this shit again. I can't start to like, well, sorry. I can't infringe on Spike's, patented shirtless interviews.
That's true.
Remember what Spike? Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You go ahead, Reed. I love it when you talk.
I was about to end the show, so you can go ahead.
I hate everything.
Well, this went really well. I think next time we're gonna have to drink because we definitely have better banter
I
when we're all
was.
intoxicated.
This is number 3. What the fuck have you been up to?
Oh, then
Maybe
it's our
go
fault.
debate the smartest people in the movement after our fucking episode, you dipshit.
You dipshit.
I thought it was a Scallywag
Goddamn.
show, so I just assumed we'd be lit.
I have to debate in 2 minutes. I can't. I'm
Why
sorry.
are you debating someone?
Because it's a really important topic. We keep going.
No, who knows? Is it like a serious thing that's happening right now?
Yeah, these are really smart people he's debating. And
Eliza,
Bill,
you
you,
know,
you make
Philip,
me
a
look
rock
bad.
star, thinks that you
Thank
make all of us look bad. There you go.
I didn't even take my jacket
True.
off.
Great job on Tim
Hey.
Pool, by the
My
way. Phil.
jacket off.
Yeah. All right. Well, Clint's got to go. So
All right, plans.
we'll do this again. And I think you're right. We got to do it on a Saturday night or something where I'm home.
Yeah.
And I can get hammered and we can just really let it rip and get the YouTube channel banned. But I've got everyone's Twitter in the description. So you can follow them there.
Maybe we should do that one together, Reed.
What's that?
Maybe we should do that one together. Like I could just come to wherever you are and we could just be together and then
Oh, do it live.
Sure.
Yeah, you guys should do it live, all right. Oh, fuck it, we'll do it live. All right, I'm gonna be on Liberty Lockdown. It's on YouTube.
have fun with your debate. Don't hurt Lockout Days. I love him.
Yo, I love Drew. I love Ace too, for the record. So like,
Don't
this is
you
all love.
dare. I swear.
This is all
if you
love.
hurt Lockout Days, you got to answer to me, and nobody wants that smoke. I'll whip this wig off so fast.
This is all love, and I'm really sick of you not having complete allegiance to me. But anyways,
Aw.
everyone hop over to Liberty Lockdown and check it out.
Have fun.
All right.